Hey guys, Movie Fan 356 here, and today we are going to be talking about. Hang on, let me put this back in the slipcover here. Today we're going to be talking about Kick-Ass 2. Now, Kick-Ass 2 came out in 2013, last year, and is of course the sequel to Kick-Ass, which came out in 2010. But it's not directed by Matthew Vaughn. It is directed by Jeff Wadlow, and it's starring Aaron Taylor Johnson again as Dave, aka Kick-Ass. Chloe Grace Moretz is Hit Girl. They're back, and McLovin is back as Red Mist. Only he's not the Red Mist this time. Now he's known as the Motherfucker, and I'll talk about that definitely. You also get Jim Carrey in here playing Colonel Stars and Stripes, and Morris Chestnut's in here. But yeah, basically the plot of this film is, Kick-Ass has been Kick-Ass for a little while. He's kind of like, Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. He enjoys being Kick-Ass. He has fun. And Hit Girl is now starting high school, and she kind of wants to give up the whole Hit Girl thing. She kind of just wants to be a normal high school girl, which I appreciate. But I'll talk a little bit about that in this review. Like I said, you get Jim Carrey in here as Colonel Stars and Stripes, who's trying to basically gather a team of heroes. I'm not going to call them superheroes because they don't have superpowers, just normal people in costumes. But he's basically the Nick Fury of the Kick-Ass universe. He's trying to get this whole group together and stop crime. Meanwhile, you got McLovin, who's playing Chris in the film, who was the Red Mist in the first film. But this one, he's so pissed off at Kick-Ass because, spoiler alert from the first Kick-Ass movie, Kick-Ass kills his father with a bazooka. He shoots him with a bazooka out the window. And he's pretty pissed off about that, so he decides to become a supervillain called the Motherfucker. And he's trying to assemble his team of supervillains. Or just villains, I guess. And that's basically the plot of the movie. Now, what I think of Kick-Ass 2 is, I like it. I enjoy it. I think it's a step down from the first one, though, but not saying it's a terrible film, because I actually do enjoy it. I bought it on Blu-ray. I really do like it. And it's just missing, it's missing the heart of Big Daddy. It's missing Nicolas Cage in this film. Spoiler alert from the first Kick-Ass film, Nicolas Cage, aka Big Daddy, dies in that film, and this movie's kind of missing that. I know it tries to replace it with Colonel Stars and Stripes played by Jim Carrey. And Jim Carrey does a good job. He's being Jim Carrey. But I think it was just missing that. But let's talk about McLovin. Because if you guys saw my first Kick-Ass review, his name's like Christopher Mintz Plassey or something. And but I'm always going to know him as McLovin from Superbad. So I'm just going to call him McLovin. The Motherfucker as a supervillain. And am I the only one who actually prefers him as a villain than a hero? I mean, I know the whole Red Mist thing was cool in the first film, and it works for that film. He doesn't need to be a villain just yet. But, with the character development in this one, it's time for him to become the supervillain, and I actually enjoy him more as the villain. I think he's a lot more fun. I mean, he was fun in the first film, but I enjoy watching him as a villain more. Jim Carrey as Colonel Stars and Stripes, I'm going to say... he's not in the movie much, and I'm gonna try to stay away from spoilers right here. But I didn't really talk about spoilers in the first film anyway, so I might not talk. I don't know. We'll see how this review goes. I don't write down notes, and for my reviews like most people do, I probably should because I tend to lose my train of thought a lot. But I kind of just play my reviews out by ear. It feels natural. This is the way that I like to do reviews. Perfectly pure and natural, and I try to do my best to entertain you guys in the process. Colonel Stars and Stripes, Jim Carrey, he's not in there much, like I said, but when he is there, he's a lot of fun. And you also get his best friend, which I don't remember his name off the top of my hand here. He's the kid from Hot Tub Time Machine, who was one of his best friends. He's one of the heroes in here. He's really fun as a hero. Chloe Grace Moretz, I think we need to talk about her. They kind of took a different direction, and if you guys haven't read the graphic novels, if you guys have just seen the movies, they took her in a different direction in this film than they did with the first film. She kind of gives up the whole badass hit girl thing, and she tries to be a normal high schooler, dealing with, you know, people picking on her and trying to fit in, and, you know, all that stuff. And I really, really kind of admired that. It was cool. Would I would have liked to see her in the hit girl costume, kicking ass a lot more than what she was? Of course, but I didn't hate what they did with her. The character of Dave, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, as Kick-Ass, his character was developed in a really, really good way in this next one here. I like that final battle between Kick-Ass's group of heroes and the motherfucker's group of villains. Badass. And speaking of that, we're going to talk about some new additions here. Let's go to the heroes first. The hero, probably my favorite of the new heroes, is Night Bitch. I mean, she's so fucking hot. She kicks ass. And I believe she's legal age. Because Chloe Grace Moretz, not legal age. I can't really talk about how hot she is. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I did. But Night Bitch, hot, kicks ass, love Night Bitch. Now as for the villains, aside from the motherfucker out of that group, my favorite villain, Mother Russia. Motherfucking Russia. It's like Ivan Drago on more steroids and just female version of it. I mean, what's not to love there? Oh my god. And not gonna lie, she was kind of hot too in a very, very weird, creepy way, but she was hot. I have fun watching Mother Russia. And that fight with Hit Girl was badass, wasn't it? This was a little bit more emotional. There's more, bad things happening to certain people that we care about, because we actually do care about these characters, and that's what I like about the Kick-Ass movies. The tone is, even though it is a different director, the tone is pretty much the same as the first movie, which I admire that they kept the look and the feel of it the same, for the most part. The comedy is just as grand as it was in the first one. I think the first one's a little bit better with the comedy, but I think this one's great too. Overall, though, I'm going to have to give Kick-Ass 2, I'm going to give it an A-. I really, really like it. Not as much as the first one, but there are characters in here that I really do have fun watching. I still think it's a good film. It's a solid sequel. And, yeah, I really highly enjoy it. And if you guys don't know, if you didn't see this in theaters or anything, and you want to go pick this movie up, and you like the first Kick-Ass, and you haven't seen this one yet, but you want to check it out, highly recommend it, first of all. A- is my grade for it. There is a post-credit scene, which doesn't really matter too much. You could tell that they wanted to do the third one, because I believe there are only 3 graphic novels. And correct me if I'm wrong on that in the comment section, but I believe there are only 3 graphic novels, and they wanted to do a third movie, but unfortunately this one just didn't do as well as they were hoping. Again, I think, a big chunk of it was because it was missing Big Daddy, and, people were just, about it, but, like I said, I really, really highly enjoy this film. I like the first one better, but this one's still good. I think I already said that, but the post-credit scene sets it up for a third one a little bit. I would like to see a third one still. I mean, I know this movie only came out last year, so there is still a chance. The chance is very, very small, but there is a small chance that the third one could happen. I hope they do it, but Hit Girl's getting too old. Chloe Grace Moretz is getting too old. Aaron Taylor Johnson is getting too old. They're getting too old. Where if the longer they wait, the less likely it's gonna happen. And if they're too old, I don't want to see it, but they're starting to get there. But yeah, all in all, guys, really highly enjoy Kick-Ass 2. What do you guys think of Kick-Ass 2? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Which one do you like better, Kick-Ass 1 or Kick-Ass 2? And would you like to see a third one be made? That's all I can say for today. I'll see you guys in the next video.